Today we're going to be scanning a B300 King Air logbook, and we're going to use the electronic copies that we make to keep as a backup for a paper logbook or to put in an electronic record keeping system. But saving the PDFs as a backup is a little more complicated because it's a logbook. Please go to our website at www.businessaircraftrecords.org and look up Scanning Aircraft Records. It'll tell you what you need to do to make this a legitimate copy of a logbook. For the scanning today, we'll be using the CZUR ET18 Pro, which is a book-style scanner. In my opinion, a better scanner for the type of records we usually find when scanning aircraft logbooks. We'll also be referencing the Scanning Aircraft Records manual published by Business Aircraft Records. To download this manual for yourself, to use as a reference when scanning your own records, please go to www.businessaircraftrecords.org. The CZUR book scanner comes self-contained in its own carrying case with integral lighting, a power cord, the cord that connects the scanner to your computer, a foot-activated pedal for taking the scanned images, and of course the software that needs to be loaded onto your own computer. And of course the black field pad. The scanner uses this black pad to understand what it is to scan. It's very important therefore not to have anything on this pad except for the page or pages we're scanning. Otherwise the view of the scanned image will be distorted. The logbooks we're going to scan today are for a 2012 King Air B300 aircraft. So as you can see, we have the airframe logbook, 2 engine logbooks, and 2 propeller logbooks. We're going to begin by creating the electronic file structure to put our scanned images in. The easiest way of doing this is to create this file structure to replicate the paper logbook in electronic format. That way, as you scan the different sections and books, you can save them directly in the appropriate folder in your electronic logbook. We'll begin by creating a top-level folder. I named this folder the same as the registration number of the aircraft. Then I'll add a few details to be certain to identify the logbook, such as the aircraft serial number and model number. Inside the top-level folder, I usually split aircraft records into 2 groups. I use maintenance records for the FAR 43 and other important documents that should always be in a logbook. And I'll use supporting documents for the documents that back up and support this maintenance record. Of course, you're free to set up the file structure any way that works best for you and your operation. Next, we'll go into the maintenance records, in this case the logbooks themselves. We have the airframe logbook, and then 2 engine logbooks, which we'll call engine serial numbers 1 and 2, and 2 propeller logbooks, which we'll also call serial numbers 1 and 2. Of course, you want to use actual serial numbers when you set up your own electronic logbook. In the aircraft's record, we find that the airframe logbook has several sections, one named Service Records and another named 8130s. So we'll create folders for both of these. To start scanning, we'll grab one of the logbooks and begin. The CZUR scanner is capable of scanning single pages or multiple pages bound in book format. To scan a single page, place the page on the scanner. Be sure that the single page function is selected in the scanner software and that only the page to be scanned is on the black pad. If anything else is on this pad, the scan image will expand to incorporate this item. And don't worry if the page is a little skewed. The software will adjust to straighten the image. A trick I've learned with this scanner is to select the black and white section in the color mode of the software, to be sure that all the white pages will appear white in the scanned image. Selecting color will allow for things like blue signatures or color in logos, but will most likely render the actual white page a little darker than desired as an electronic copy. When ready, press the image button, in this case the foot pedal. The image appears on the left side of the scanning screen as a thumbnail. If you have a two-sided page, flip the page over and take the image of side 2, or select the next page from the logbook to be scanned. If you have a bound book, the scanner can take an image of both pages with a single scan, then break the image into separate pages as shown. When using this function, be sure to select the facing pages on the scanner screen. Continue until all the pages in the logbook or section of the logbook have been scanned. Once the entire section of the logbook has been scanned, I like to use the back button to pull up the export page. Select Export as a searchable PDF. Be sure to select the All Images to include all the scanned images in this export. Next, select the folder that you want the images to export into. In this case, the applicable folder we created in our electronic logbook. Name the file appropriately and save into this folder. Once saved, the easiest way to delete the images from the scanner memory and start anew with the next logbook or logbook section is to close out the scanner software page and begin again scanning the new section. It's always a good idea to go to the folder where you just placed the images to double check that the correct images are in the correct place.
So as you can see, scanning aircraft records is not difficult. For more information on scanning the records using the CZUR ET18 scanner that I use today, go to our website at www.businessaircraftrecords.org and download the ET18 scanning manual. And while you're there, check out some of our blogs and articles on what we can all be doing to improve aircraft record keeping in our industry.